put this phone away. Hopefully it won't ring while I'm doing this. Alright, fishing report. Yeah, 1st of September. Attempt 1. Well, folks, might look like a familiar background. I'm down on the bottom end of the DSR. Kind of my unofficial official start to the salmon season. My unofficial official start to the fall fishing reports. So I'll get on with it really quick here. Really first, a couple of announcements. We had a great spay casting clinic. Thanks for everybody that showed up. Let me play with this camera a little bit. There we go. I'll have a better look at the river over my shoulder. Oh, that's a lot better. And also, if you're interested, keep an eye on social media. If we have any cancellations, I think I got one for October 9th. I'll be announcing the cancellation open dates, and you can, if you're interested, just get in contact with me. Contact information's on the end of the video. But anyways, moving forward, yeah, so this is the Labor Day weekend water release. They're releasing 750, even though the Pineville gauge says 740, and there's probably 150 CFS of runoff. That's, well, they're giving us what we're getting. And there is no shortage of water. I mean, the ground's saturated from all the rains, as you know. The reservoir's stuffed with water. We're not going to have a water problem. I think water problem, yeah, we will have a water problem. Probably, chances are, once this nice Canadian front pushes through, we're going to get hammered again. And I wouldn't be surprised, we're going to see a fair amount of 750 water. It's going to fluctuate between 335 and probably 1,000 this year. Probably we're going to see a lot of 750 water off and on, and we're going to probably, we might even have a little experience probably as we get in October with some 1,000 water. So we're going to see a lot of water. Keep in mind, the more water we get, the faster the fish go through the system. If you're fishing the DSR, which I do a lot, keep in mind that chances are those fish are going to move through the system a little quicker. So you may want to pay attention to collection points in the river where the pools where they collect. You know, your morning fish is probably going to be ideal for a while, especially right now. It's a morning gig. So water temperatures are actually excellent for this time of the year. We got water temperatures in the mid-60s. Normally have water temperatures in the mid-70s. Normally the fish this time of the year are 5 miles offshore. The rumor was they were in 40 to 60 feet last night. Probably why this morning on Labor Day Sunday there was a handful of fish. Actually, there's some fish right behind me that's been rolling in this pool and some down below. So there is a handful of fish in this morning. Yesterday it was kind of quiet. Today there seems to be a few stray fish in. We did drop one earlier. Didn't catch it on camera, unfortunately. But there is some fish kicking around today. The upper fly zone has, for this time of year, a handful of fish. There's some fish up there that came in on the previous high water last couple of weeks. So, yeah, probably more fish around on average for this time of the year. Water temperatures are way better this time of the year. So we're having some cool nights. So the temperatures are fluctuating. So if you want to fish right now in the next couple of weeks, I'd focus on first light to about midday, right about now. We're right around noon now. The sun's beating me up. So that's about when I'll shut it down. Maybe at last light, go upriver. If you fish the Douglason in the morning, maybe try up top, or maybe come down to the Douglason since you have a full day pass. Try the very bottom of the estuary or the top of one of the big pools and see if any fish move out of the big pools or out of the estuary. Stake up on one of those places and fish and see what happens. Flies right now, we're definitely using the standard stuff, size 4 woolly buggers. We're fishing some really cool, probably 2.5, 3-inch tube flies. I don't have any on me for an example. A lot of blacks, purples, blues. That's what we're using. Just haven't put on an olive thing. I wouldn't be surprised olive work. It's too early in the season. It's just day 2 of the so-called official salmon season. So I don't obviously I don't have a pattern figured out, but standard stuff, standard size is working. The few grabs we've got, but then again, that's what we've been fishing too. So that's kind of what's kind of on. The DSR. I figured with this, they're 750 tomorrow, Monday or Tuesday. In fact, it's gonna be kind of quiet down here because I know they're supposed to throttle the water back. I think tomorrow and Monday. down to the 335, which is the new minimum release. So I think you'll be running the river at 335 as much as possible. It's up in, for the next couple of months. Obviously, we'll see if the rain stops and we run out of water, it'll drop. If we get a lot of rain, so it's going to be very weather dependent as always. That's kind of what's going on. Not really much exciting. It is early. So I tell everybody the first 2 weeks of September is my time. This is when I like to fish. I'm fishing for a fish, a grab or two. I'm not expecting any numbers. It's just a fish or two. I'm usually fishing from about 6:30 in the morning until about noon. That's usually my personal routine. Then I go tie flies. So that's kind of how I deal with the first couple of weeks. And then once you get into mid-September, usually by then we've had a run or two in. So if you're thinking, when do I come up? I always tell everybody, mid-September. And by that time, I think the 14th, the lower fly fishing zone opens up. But really, there is an odd fish scattered about, even up to the, if you don't want to fish the DSR, obviously the fly zones have some fish in the upper fly zone. Lower fly zone is closed. Upper fly zone's open. Upper fly zone has some fish. They're a little crabby, like they always are. If you're like fishing the rest of the main river, any of the good, like Schoolhouse, Sportsman's, all those main pools around Alice Cove, Trussell, there's some fish sitting in there, a handful of fish. So all those major tanks will have a few fish in right now. And they're just kind of trickling up through the river. Like I said, we get a small handful, a little jag, a couple dozen fish come up and they'll just work their way up. It'll take them 2 or 3 days to get to the top. So that's kind of what's going on right now. Very normal for this time of year. We are off to a good start because I like the water flows we got so far this year. I like the water temperatures. The last couple of weeks we've had some fish come in. So everything's pointing to, we're off to a very good start. That's kind of what's going on. Once again, experiment with your flies. The water's been up, so we've been fishing some heavier tips, and the water gets down real light, and so your tips are going to match the water flows, cover some water. This time of year we just like to swing because we like to swing, and it helps us just cover a lot of water faster. So that's kind of what's going on with the fishing. That's about it. Folks, thanks for watching. I'm going to try to put together a kind of a little watch us fail fishing video over the last couple of days, so keep your eyes open for that, which means hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. Really not anything earth-shattering yet. We're just, salmon season is finally here. Fall is starting finally. So we're off. See you in the river, folks. This is Jay at JPEG Guides and Lost River Fishing. We are a year-round fly fishing catch and release guide service. We fish the Lake Ontario tributaries, and then during the spring and the summer we also fish the inland trout streams, classic dry fly fishing. During the heat of the summer we will do the warm water fishing for bass and pike. If you're interested in any of our outings or have any questions, please feel free to email us at fish@lostriversfishing.com. Hope to hear from you, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact us.